Alrighty, let's get in this next one. Elon Musk acknowledged Palantir.
Starting to get a little bit more attention on the interwebs. Now, we are at a state in terms of the Palantir community and the content surrounding this company where I truly believe it's at its infancy. It may seem like there's a lot of coverage, but if you're in the Palantir world, if you're a shareholder, yeah, there's a lot of coverage because you follow those people, they're in your world. But to the broader market, like, it's definitely not a company that is well known, a stock that is well known. It's just one of those things that is out there. And the goal of building a community, the goal of creating content, the goal of getting people to care about the company and cover the company is, can that get more mainstream? Because when that becomes more mainstream, not only does it help with the marketing and branding of the company, but it helps with potential investors wanting to know what Palantir does and waking up to the potential of the company. Well, 2 days ago, we got some pretty awesome news because Elon Musk officially acknowledged Palantir. How did he acknowledge Palantir? So this is an account called 8API. I believe they're in the technology space. They said Palantir demoed a battlefield assistant calling in drones and quarterbacking a battle in Eastern Europe, and then they do a thread on it. This thread got 1.5 million views, almost 500 retweets, 295 quotes, 2,000 likes, and 1,400 bookmarks. A bookmark is when you save something.
By the way, that's the smartest thing. I mean, Elon's done some smart things with Twitter, I'll be honest, since he's come back. And this is just one of the smartest things, in my opinion, showing, like, I'm guessing how many people actually scrolled over it counts as a view, kind of like TikTok has in different things, right? Because not a lot of people, like, hit a heart, so you might think there's not much engagement, but then when you see the views, you're like, oh my gosh, there's actually a lot more people, at least slid past this than I thought they did.
Because you want to see it later. So people obviously thought this content was interesting enough to come back to. Now, this triggered a wave of people talking about the AIP for Defense, which was unveiled. AIP was unveiled about 4 weeks ago. AIP for Defense, the video that I did a video review on, came out about 2-3 days ago, where Palantir is showing how they can operationalize their ChatGPT type of clone within the war, the military, within the army, right, within wartime mission critical situations, specifically, right, you can imagine this is being used in Ukraine and Russia right now, and what is under the hood that allows it to happen, but also how easy of an interface it is to interact with to actually be able to do things. So the thread starts off by saying it's a chatbot, but with federated data retrieval based on intelligence classification access rules. This is like sort of the magic of Palantir. Very few companies are able to do that. That's why Palantir has IL6 security clearance, etc. Notifications come into the chatbot. This is a bot prompting a human. First time I've ever seen in any demo. Reminds me of Command and Conquer, alert on anomalous military activity detected. Dynamic content UI maps graphic form field. Chatbot generates whatever it needs in the chat window. Show me more. All of this is using geospatial intelligence to be able to come to a conclusion, connecting with the large language models trained on the data that you feed into the models that Palantir uses, while all under the hood being a federated data platform that has the access controls to make sure that the data is protected and classified. It is top-level secured data protection at scale being operationalized with an interface that's as easy as show me where the tanks are. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. You can order a surveillance drone inside of the chat. You can see a drone response in real time inside of your chat window. You can generate attack option recommendations. We saw this all in the video. You can send attack approval from your chain of command, and you can have a battlefield route planning inside of the chat, weapons inventory analysis inside of the chat, individual target assignment inside of the AIP terminal. Amazing stuff. Palantir really providing value to the DoD. Then he goes into the model they're using, etc. The final thing they say is the best integrated AI I've seen 2 years ahead. And this is where, as a Palantir shareholder, you're excited that people inside of the tech space are acknowledging this, because
before Amit goes further here, this goes to show you, like, take everything you just saw there, everything they just went through over the past 1 to 2 minutes here, and imagine a company being able to do that about a problem inside the organization and being able to do those sorts of prompts, but in a business environment, right? When you put it into that context, you really understand the opportunity of Palantir really in the corporate space and how big the commercial space could be over the next, I would say 5 or 10 years here, if not 15, 20 years, when you just take that example and then think about it in terms of a company actually doing something like that. It's incredible.
AI for like advertising and AI for content discovery. It's really cool and it's dope and it's awesome, but like integrated use cases of AI at the level of drug discovery, at the level of mission critical situations on the battlefield to protect a country from losing its sovereignty. That's why you're investing in Palantir. And for everyone saying, well, what's the catalyst for Palantir? Where's their Cybertruck? Blah, blah, blah. AI is the catalyst. And the exponentiality of AI growing and Palantir being able to play this type of a role inside of AI is to me fundamentally differentiated from every other company in the market. I don't see Snowflake, Data. I don't see any of these companies doing what Palantir is doing in the context of AI. And this is why I invested in them 2 years ago, because I was like, I think their software is going to be used everywhere in the world. I didn't know exactly how it would happen, but this is the hunch I have. Will I be right? I don't know yet, but this is the reason I wanted to invest. This is the belief you had in the company that they would figure this stuff out.
Before we go further here, I got to come back to the chicken all-in Palantir situation, okay? So, if I was to think about a stock that, to go all in, right? I don't know if Palantir would necessarily be my first choice on a risk-reward standpoint, but I will say it's an okay choice in terms of, if you were forced to be in that mindset where you got to feel like you got to go all in a stock, right? Just for the mere fact that they have such a great clean balance sheet with basically no debt, right? $2 billion plus of cash, I think $2.6 billion, somewhere around there. And, certainly the stock's kind of been in a bottoming out range for quite some time now. Company just getting to profitability with still nice revenue growth and a relatively stable business model because of how much government business they do, right? Never mind, obviously, the commercial opportunity is huge long term. So I do think that's interesting that he chose a Palantir. And I will say, like I said, it wouldn't be the number one. That if you forced me to go all in a stock, it wouldn't be my number one. But I got to say, it's not bad. It's not bad.
And Elon replies, "Oh, great." Now, here's
by the way,
thing.
if you don't know, I'm a Palantir investor as well, but I don't have nearly as much as I'm sure Chicken has in it. I don't know how much he has. I have. I'll see how many shares I got right now.
Elon responding is definitely why this tweet got a lot more views. His "oh, great," I think, can either be interpreted as, "Oh, great, more AI now used on the battlefield. Shit's gonna hit the fan." It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of like a sarcastic, "Oh, great, we got another use of AI on the battlefield after I just said to stop using AI." Or it's more like a, "Oh, great." If I had to guess, I think it might be the first version where he's a little upset about this, but not upset in
I have a little less than 5,000 shares of Palantir.
Context of, he thinks it's a bad product. I think he's upset that AI is moving so quickly and that he literally signed a letter to pause AI for like 6 months or whatever in order for us to regulate it, that he's like, oh, well, now we have AI on the battlefield. Look,
as somebody that's followed Elon for like a million years now, I got to say this, okay? I got to be real about this for a moment. I think Elon Musk is actually jealous of some of the progress some of these other companies are making, because for one of the only times ever, Elon Musk is behind the curve, and he hates being behind the curve for anything tech-wise. And I feel like he wants to slow everybody down so he can hopefully jump ahead. Because if you know Elon, like, he's led on electric vehicles and obviously, amazing battery technology and solar technology in terms of his companies, right? You think about what SpaceX has been doing. And I'll be honest, Elon Musk has an ego. If you have never seen Elon Musk's ego before, you just haven't been following him well enough. He absolutely has an ego, and I've seen it especially with SpaceX and competing against Bezos and stuff like that. Man has a big ego, and I don't think he likes it. That he is, for once, actually, I don't want to say odd man out, but he's behind on anything he's working about, and he's trying to get this company up and running that's going to explore more into AI, right? And obviously, Tesla's done some phenomenal stuff as far as, for self-driving, using AI to have the vehicle make decisions and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think he understands that he's behind in this game. And for a man like that, he doesn't want to be behind on these epic technology projects.
Going to happen. I think in general, Karp has responded to this, right? Karp's entire argument at the end of the day was he would be in favor of AI regulations and stopping the progression of AI, but the problem is our adversaries, Russia and China, are not stopping their progression of AI, and they have a lot of smart people in those countries that are trying to get the job done at a broader scale. If you believe the world is going to get more deglobalized, less secure, then software is going to be the differentiator for the values that you want to win. And in the United States, if we want those values to win, then we need to make sure we're at the forefront of that. And it seems like Palantir has created a product that will be able to guarantee that Western countries are at the forefront, not to mention the crap load of money that they might be able to make as a result of that. Now, I want to take this to a CodeStrap tweet as well. CodeStrap put out a thread the day this stuff started happening where Palantir started kind of going viral on Twitter. Before I show this CodeStrap thing, you got a bunch of people. If you just type in Palantir AIP on Twitter, you got this account talking about AIP, you got this people talking about this, you got this other person, Palantir AIP did an LLM Battlefield Assistant demo yesterday, video is here. Someone already did a thread. So you got a bunch of people, if you just search it up, outside of the usual, Palantir folks talking about it, that are making threads on it. That's literally, they're linking this stuff like, this guy, Peter Henderson. I've never seen this guy talk about Palantir in the community. I know a decent amount of people because I'm on Twitter, all the time talking about Palantir. And this guy, what does he do? He's a PhD in computer science and AI at Stanford, building law and policy informed ML systems and ML informed policy law. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you want to watch the rest of this video, obviously you can check it out on Amit's channel there. But obviously Palantir, this is I think one of the first times I've seen it since I've been in the community where they've actually gotten this sort of attention for showing off a demo like this. They've done several, a million demos since I've kind of been involved with this stock, but I've never seen them get this sort of attention. This is a whole new level for the company, which is obviously very exciting, and it definitely shows they have future levels of growth to go, because when you put on a demo like this and it amazes folks like this and high caliber folks, you're onto something there. So